Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. Demonte Williams is a Phoenix-based entrepreneur who went from incarceration to building multiple businesses powered by AI, including a $271,000 deal pipeline while working full-time and raising his daughter. Welcome to the show, Demonte.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Nice to meet you.
So you're Phoenix-based, but you still have ties back in Milwaukee. Is that right?
Yes, correct. I do. I just hosted an event back there. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so I still have strong community ties.
Okay. Why don't we start with the business? The one I think you have multiple businesses. Give us a quick snapshot of where you're at right now.
Okay, currently I run AMC Professionals. AMC Professionals is my commercial cleaning company. We specialize in retail, construction, final cleaning, as well as tenant turnovers here in the Phoenix area. So if there's a new construction build, we're typically going after those contracts and those bids. So that's my number one business. My second business is my brand, at Monte Motivated, which you can find on Instagram. So promoting and running and monetizing my personal brand, as well as being the founder of the Next Step Summit, which is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is a community-based organization that provides research sources for underserved people, as well as finding partnerships with financial institutions so that we can meet their CRA needs.
Okay, excellent. Let's dive into the commercial cleaning aspect first. What types of projects do you guys? So when they're completing it, right? You go in and get it functional or presentable. Is that right?
Correct. So we start from beginning to creating a bid, finding the bids and the leads, to finishing doing the final cleaning on the project. So a recent project we just did is it's an amazing company called Pop Mart. They just opened a store in the Tempe AZ Mills Mall. So we just finished the Pop Mart clean at AZ Mills, and it was pretty much getting the store ready for their grand opening. So my cleans can range from apartment complexes to Circle K gas stations to small retail stores, or maybe even dental offices that's being open brand new, or if they had some minor construction.
Okay. Most of it I invest heavily in apartment communities, and we usually have the maintenance on staff do it. Do you sometimes supplement the existing staff, or do you sometimes work in places that don't have on property turning crews?
Okay, so because I've done a few apartment final construction cleans, and on those, you're typically hired to do the cleaning before anybody else gets there. Now, once they are open and running, they typically hire their own cleaners.
Okay.
But to do the construction cleaning, they're going to hire you because you have a certain level of insurance and a certain level of experience.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay, so and then back to what types of deals? I mean, what is your ideal client for that commercial space, right? I mean, for example, there's some big warehouses that they've been building. I don't know what those really need a lot of cleanup, or some of these data centers they're building. Are those bigger contracts that you'd like? Is that?
Yeah, those would be more in maintenance fulfillment, and like more maintenance based, to where you will have 3 different crews running. Because if you win a contract similar to that, I had a contract with a company here in the Valley called Masters Electronics. And when you win contracts similar to that, they're going to want around the clock cleaning, simply because they're working multiple shifts. So you're going to have a day porter as well as have a night porter come in and do the touching up in the offices. But as far as like having someone work on the warehouse floors, the bathrooms, making sure the trash and things like that is taken care of, you're going to have a crew that actually are on staff working around the clock to take care of that.
Okay, interesting. You're bringing me back a little bit here. Back when I was in Minnesota, my dad worked for Ford in St. Paul on the line building trucks, but we would work nights and weekends cleaning office buildings, and a few of them had some other sort of workshop spaces, and I would empty garbages and vacuum and clean up the shop and dust mop and stuff. So we did that for many years. So, and it was I imagine. it's structured. It can be structured similarly, where you're paid by the job instead of by the hour, right? So you get in there and
Yeah.
you do a good, quick job and get out.
Okay, so that's why I prefer to do retail construction cleaning and retail turnover cleaning, because when you're dealing with commercial cleaning, you're going to be on a net 30, a net 45, or a net 90 contract. So you're
Right.
not going to be paid right away. So you have to find ways to make sure you can supplement your payroll to keep your staff paid. So I would definitely prefer the retail cleaning because the turnover and the pay can sometimes be the same day, but then some of these bigger construction companies still operate on that 30 to where it might be a 30-day window before payment.
Right. Right. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about that and how you're using AI to build systems and minimize your office staff.
Okay, so this is the fun part, right? This is where I get happy because I turn into a nerd when it comes to this. The world is changing, and every day you watch on the news and you seeing all these big companies say that they just fired 30,000 staff members. They're replacing this staff member with this because AI is just allowing you to increase your capacity of what you're able to do. So with using different softwares like Manus is one of the softwares where I use, so where I can do a deep dive into the Phoenix commercial cleaning retail market. I can see what the general median bid is per square foot. I can see what the general scopes of work is. I can pull every possible document on this, and I can pull from information that other contractors and my competitors is using to create a competitive bid. Then what takes away the human aspect of us being not being able to follow up? I use what's called my framework of the law of 100, to where it's like you got to put in 100 repetitions or something to make sure that it's working. So with the 100 repetitions, we going with the follow up. I'm able to use AI such as Claude or Manus again to automate my follow ups, because a lot of times deals is lost on the follow up. So if you're unable to follow up with these
Yep.
people, then you can potentially lose a deal because you can't show up to where you're supposed to be. So I just automate a lot of things that can easily be replicated so that I don't have to do it multiple times, which allows me to submit a lot of bids, which allows for me to submit emails and get my list of people I need to contact on a daily basis prepared and ready so that I am able to follow up and am able to close on these deals.
Right. Stay top of mind so you don't fall through the cracks.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay, for sure. Talk a little bit more about the law of 100 for us, would you?
Okay, so the law of 100 is you have to try. Like, no matter what, you see a lot of people lack consistency to where they'll try something one, two, three times and they're like, oh, this didn't work. And it's
Right.
like, no, that's not enough repetition to see if this worked or not. So you got to put in the manual labor to see how many times is it going to take for me to get to my ideal client. How many reps do I got to put up to get enough data back to say whether or not this is working or not? Because everything
Right.
has a number attached to it. So for me, I like to follow the framework of a law of 100. I got to get at least 100 shots put up to say, hey, this campaign didn't work. Hey, this advertisement didn't work. Hey, this piece of content didn't work. Hey, I reached out this amount of times. In this amount of reach outs, I got 8% contact rate and I got a 5% close rate. And these numbers give me my data to go back and support whether or not I should follow through with these things or, hey, let it go.
Right. I think that's incredibly powerful when you're thinking about the mindset required, how to pre-frame the work beforehand so you know going in that when your motivation struggles, right? You too bad. You've already committed. You're going to do it properly and not bail on it when you just don't get the immediate feedback.
Yeah, so I look at like a lot of these bigger businesses. I just told someone the other day, McDonald's is going to tell you 900 times a day that they sell hamburgers. They don't let, if they had a bad day with their wife, get in the way of it. They don't let a bad morning in traffic get in the way of it. Every day they're going to let it be known this is what happens. The thing that they have in play to ensure this is just having systems in place so that when motivation fails, systems are able to take charge. So I just like to say that it may take an hour of my time on a Sunday or maybe 2 hours of my time on a Sunday, but I can get a week's worth of work done in that small time frame so that I am able to show up in every capacity because, like I say, the world is changing. So you want to be able to be top of mind. So you want to make sure that your doors look like they're open on social media. You have current Google posts. You're sending your emails, you have your leads already generated. You just want to make sure that you're prepared in all situations.
Right. Okay. Um, I, let's pivot a little bit and talk a little bit about the Next Step Summit and how that came about. And I imagine that's the community ecosystem that you've been growing. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so just in transparency, I ended up doing 14 years of my life incarcerated. So when I came home, I realized that one, I had to change my environment to end up changing my life. So that's how I ended up moving
Sure.
down here to Arizona. And since then, I just was opened up to an entirely different world of people and just an entirely different way of living life. It seemed like I actually hit the real world when I came to Arizona. So, fast forward, a lot of people that I was previously incarcerated with, I noted that they came home, they changed their life, they're doing amazing things in the community. So, I wanted to put together something to where maybe I can highlight those people. So, this
Okay.
one small idea actually turned into a big event. So, me and my partner Rashad Washington, who owns a painting company in Wisconsin, Pro Painter USA, we collaborated and we partnered with, well, we got this event space use of the BMO Bank. We utilized their event space and we did the event there in Milwaukee. We brought together entrepreneurs, we brought together community leaders, we brought together reentry corporations, and we had an event venue capacity of 71 people. I'm a numbers person, so we had a capacity of 71 people. We sold out the event on our first event, which was a 71 out of 71 during a rainstorm, during tornado warnings. We had
Jeez.
different entrepreneurs. Yeah, it Wisconsin weather is bipolar, so we had different entrepreneurs come out, and my number one thing was no gatekeeping. Like when you speak, no gatekeeping, because I have a firm belief that if you have some information that can help feed somebody's family or that can help change the trajectory of somebody's life, and all you got to do is speak on it and give that person that information. So the number one rule was no gatekeeping. So I wanted the
Okay.
people to come to the summit to be able to walk away with tangible steps on what they can do in the next step, whether it be to create an EIN, create an LLC, learn how to go market, learn how to go. I had people from the behavioral health industry. I had someone from the painting industry, service-based industry. I had a mental health psychologist come. I had someone from the home healthcare industry come speak. So just pulling and bringing these resources together. Then the framework behind it is actually, like I mentioned earlier, to help BMO to meet their CRA needs as well. So we brought people together that actually are opening up bank accounts with BMO now. They're actually learning about business bank accounts and different lending and funding products. So that one small event turned into a partnership with BMO to where we actually have the next one coming up at the end of May because they wanted us to host the event because of what we did with this small event.
Excellent. Excellent. Congrats on that. It sounds like
Thank you.
it's making a huge impact and it's successful and continuing to grow. So extra kudos.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing event coming up. This one is called Next Step Summit, the demonstration. So we're going to make it interactive to where we're going to do a live consultation for a business owner to where we're
Okay.
going to use AI. We're going to run it through my system, which I call Monte OS, and we're going to create a full AI business blueprint. But we're also going to show how you still need the human element because I look at this AI thing is it's like you watching a cooking show and the AI is the sous chef in the kitchen coming up with all the recipes, and I'm Gordon Ramsay. I got to taste it and tell if it come back in. So
Great. I like that.
that's yeah, that's my reference point on how I look at it. So I got to make sure that everything comes out right. So in our demonstration, we're going to show the AI do what it does, and then we're actually going to add the human element, critiquing and making sure it fits to the actual person.
Okay. And I like also what you said about the no gatekeeping, right? It's a mindset of abundance, right? It's not a zero sum game. You're not competing with each other. You're all good. You can all win together. So that's that. And you also mentioned mental health aspects, or having some of that support there too, which is huge, right? And being an entrepreneur is the majority of it is mindset.
Yes, that's that's so important because to remain consistent, you have to have a certain mindset, and you have to know that it's okay that you're not going to have a good day. Every day is not going to be $1 million day. There's going to be some frustration. There's going to be some hardship. There's going to be some struggle as you continue to elevate and try to climb. So just having the proper perspective and the proper tools to deal with it is important. That's why I take my mental health serious. That's why I take my physical health very serious, because I tell people you need an outlet. No matter what it is, you still need an outlet while you're grinding.
For sure, for sure. And I mean, and I think the data over the last decade or two has shown how interconnected they are, right? The food you eat, your physical state affects your mental state, and vice versa. Um, yeah, they're intertwined, and both incredibly important. Um, so change of environment was huge, right? So that was a challenge you managed to address. Who you're with, what you're doing, right, and where you are the three biggest factors, I think, for most people in their life. Uh, can you speak any more about sort of the bigger challenges you've had to overcome, and or maybe the goals of where you're going too?
Okay, one of the challenges I had to overcome was ego. Had to put death to ego, because back home who I was not who I was when I came out to Phoenix, Arizona. Like, it can be overwhelming to a person that's never lived here before, for the simple fact that you go in some areas and it's glitz and glamour. Like, you see Hollywood when you go in some of these areas. So it can be intimidating to where you may deal with survivor's remorse. You may find yourself dealing with imposter syndrome because you don't feel like you belong when you go in some of these rooms. So just having to overcome the mindset of those things and really adapt the mindset that I am this person and these are the things that I'm actually doing. I got data to support that these are the things that I'm doing. I had to overcome and rewrite my entire resume, simply because for 30 plus years of my life, my family and my circle knew me for one way. And for me to just be comfortable and patient enough to be able to rewrite that narrative for them, I learned I had to overcome how much I wasn't exposed to in the environment that I was, and realize how much exposure is important moving
Mhm.
forward in people's lives. Because if you only see certain things, then you only can believe that you can go certain places. So when I came out here and I'm able to meet a person that can be the owner of a $10 million business, and we're just right at the lifetime gym talking, it's like it seems as if it's attainable, versus if you see this on the TV and it looks like it's Hollywood scripted.
Right,
So
right.
my mindset and my goal is to always be a translator and a voice for the people that may not understand it. So I just continue to grow and move forward. So right now, my mindset and my goals moving forward is to continue to grow the Next Step Summit, so that we can actually take this state to state. So once I came back from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, after doing the first one, I came to Arizona and I connected with some bank representatives down here, just so that we're able to host one down here and bring the resources, because it's a lot of people like that don't understand the power of having or operating your own business, or don't have the resources on how to do it. People don't even understand how easy it is to just go on a corporation commission and actually just file for an LLC, or that you can get an EIN for free. People don't understand that they actually have credit, and if you know how to run your business and generate some income, that you can go leverage your credit and actually get operating capital. People don't know that if you just post a certain amount of times a day, that you can end up in an algorithm and find a client. Like, people don't understand it. Hey, if you're not a consistent person, you can actually set these systems up so that the systems can be consistent for you and you can actually run a business. So my goal is to continue to grow my businesses so that I can provide that information and feed the people that may not have access to this information.
Excellent. That sounds like a really good balance between personal growth, right? So you can keep and giving back, and the more you grow, the more you can give back.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Okay, so bigger. What are your 2026? Well, let's talk about the company. Do you have like a 3-year, 5-year sort of goals for?
Okay. So AMC Professionals, right now we currently have a $271,000 bid pipeline that I created. So my goal is to be able to close at a minimum 10% of those deals. So
Okay.
most of them have a 45-day closing window between when the bids are supposed to be submitted. So my goal is to close at least 10% of those bids, which would be $27,000. So if I can do $27,000, and that's completely hands off residual income because I use systems to find the workers, I use systems to help do the interviews. So this is going to be completely residual hands off money. I'd be able to generate $27,000 in the course of 3 months. I do that 4 times from AMC Professionals. I can generate that into a complete $150,000 business that I'm running hands off, operation free. So from that, I plan on having $150,000 a year from running my business in that capacity. From the Next Step Summit, my goal is to take on a consulting fee with BMO Bank, but also leverage that to get other banking clients so that I can get a consultation fee from them as well. So my pitch and the budget for them is going to be $125,000. With that, they're going to get access to my Monte OS operating system. With that, they get access to and leverage to my community, which consists of over 80,000 views within weeks. Selling out events, so just continue to grow my relationship and my network with BMO, and that's what we're working on for the next, I would say, 12 months.
Okay, excellent, exciting stuff, Demonte. Okay, so sometimes I like to ask people about impact they're having. That's a big part of what we already talked about. You're crushing that, which is awesome. And upcoming stuff you have. What's the date for the next steps? It's
Okay.
May.
Yeah, so the Next Step Summit, we're looking at May 29th, 2026 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's going to be
Okay.
at 5 p.m. at the BMO Towers in downtown Milwaukee, 790 West Water Street. It's gonna be called the demonstration this time. So I want people to come and get comfortable with seeing two business owners actually take an idea from idea to inception. So we're actually gonna be sparring back and forth in front of the audience. It's going to be more relaxed and more casual because I feel like a lot of people learn differently in those settings, to where you usually get a cookie cutter event to where people are going to get up there, they're going to give a motivational rah speech, and then you walk away and you leave with no tangible results. We're actually going to go through what we working on in Claude when we run it through the prompt. We're going to stop, explain to the audience what we're actually doing, and actually give them steps. From there, when they're done, they're actually going to get a QR code that we're going to show on screen so that they can actually get a personalized business assessment and a 30-day roadmap for their business as well. So
Oh,
we're going
nice.
to be giving that to the people in the audience. So we're just trying to do something different with the demonstration so that we can keep the engagement high, but just make sure that we're providing value, because we have a big underserved community in Milwaukee, and just trying to highlight that and bring them up to speed.
Right. And is this open virtually at all, or is it all
Yes,
in person?
we're gonna have a Zoom link. There's gonna be a Zoom link, and it's also gonna be in person. And from this event, we're actually gonna go to monthly workshops with BMO, and from the monthly workshops, we're gonna have quarterly events.
Okay, very cool, excellent. Okay. So Demonte, if people would like to connect with you and learn more about anything, the company or next steps, what can they do? Where should they go?
Okay, so yes, you can find me on Instagram at Monte_motivated. I'm on LinkedIn at Demonte Williams. You can definitely follow me on LinkedIn, Demonte Williams, on Instagram at Monte_motivated. I can be emailed at amcprofessionalcs@gmail.com. And I would love to link and connect. I'm here in the Phoenix area. If anybody likes what I'm doing or interested in what I'm doing, I would love to connect. I'm very big on networking and just being an asset instead of a liability.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening and watching. Thank you very much, Demonte Williams, for joining me today and sharing your story and your projects. I very much appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Inspired by our guests? Visit PhoenixProsperityPodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.